Hey everybody, Jason Moser here with my friend Brendan Matthews, joining you for another edition of Ask a Fool. Today we're taking a question from 3-2. And 3-2 asks, I want to invest $25,000 in 5 stocks now for the long term for my grandchildren's education. Do you have any recommendations of which 5 stocks will be the best long-term investments? Well, 3-2, that's a great question. I mean, it's something we do all the time here that's basically just looking at stocks and trying to figure out what those best long-term investments are. And I know we have a lot that we could throw out there for you. Brendan, what are a couple of ideas that you have for 3-2?
So, two companies that I think could be a bedrock of a grandchild's education funding portfolio would be number one, Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
So we all know about Warren Buffett, what a successful capital allocator he is, how sharp he is. It's got a great collection of businesses. It's selling at only 1.4 times book value, and I think it's worth a lot more than that. I think if you buy shares of Berkshire Hathaway and stock those away, you'll do great.
Yep.
Another stock I like is in the same veins, Markel,
yeah.
Richmond-based insurance company, which maybe not everybody's heard of. It's sort of a baby Berkshire in the sense that they have a really nice insurance operation, and they're using excess capital to buy individual businesses in addition to stocks. They've got a great capital allocator and Tom Gaynor. That's another stock, not too expensive. I think if you put that in a portfolio and hold it for a decade or so, you'd be very pleased with the results.
Yeah.
But Jason, what do you think?
Well, I own both of those stocks actually, so I like those calls. They're great long-term investments. I'll throw a couple of other ideas in there, maybe a little bit more tied towards the consumer spending side of things. So maybe a little bit higher up on the risk scale, but when you're looking longer term out, I like the trends of these two companies. One is Chipotle Mexican Grill. I mean, don't let that $500 share price scare you, because really, this is a company at $16 billion market capitalization today. It's only 20 years old, and they've really only hit about halfway towards their full, Chipotle namesake stores.
Yep.
And then we have to look at the shop house stores that they're opening now, the Thai concept they have, and there's Pizzeria Locale, which I think is another concept that will take off as well. I mean, the one thing we know is that Chipotle management is not going to put out a bad product, and the other thing that we know is they own all of those stores. They take full control of that experience from start to finish, and I really like that. And with CEO Steve Ells, co-CEO Steve Ells, he's the founder of the company, and co-CEO Monty Moran, I think it's a really well-run operation. And the other one is Under Armour. I mean, we talk about Under Armour a lot. It's kind of like a baby Nike in the sense that it's much smaller than Nike, but it has really, over the course of the last few years, developed a brand out there that has resonated with a lot of consumers. And I think, the Olympics, for all the speed skating turmoil there, really kind of turned out to be a plus for Under Armour, because we saw them handle it very well, and we ultimately know it wasn't the product's fault. In another driven leader there in Kevin Plank, who also founded the company. So those are 2 more companies I'd throw in there. What about a 5th?
Okay, so I'll have the last word here. I'll give you the 5th stock, and I will come back again to the sort of consumer retail sector, and that's Carmax.
Yeah.
So Carmax is the nation's biggest used car dealer, and what they've done is they've created a really consumer-friendly experience. 93% of people who shop at Carmax would recommend it to their friends. They make it easy, they make it fair, and they've got about a little over 120 stores today. I think that they could have anywhere from 3-4 times that, maybe even more, in the next decade or two. And at 20 times earnings, I think it's a real high-quality company with a long growth rate that could definitely be something that would reward your grandchildren over the decades.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Markel hold some Carmax in their investment?
It is one of their
portfolio?
biggest. It is one of their biggest holdings.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like that. Don't go
Along
with the
with
automaker.
Berkshire.
Yeah, well, don't go with the automaker. Go with the company that's making that experience better. I like that. So there are 5 companies for you to consider, and I hope that they work out for you. Certainly, for any questions, make sure to check out Fool.com.